Welcome to Cosmically Speaking, Episode 5. I am here with Jay Blind, commonly mistaken for Blind, a renowned community member of Shorewood for over 30 years, and the president of the Shorewood Men's Club. Welcome, Jay. How you doing?
Thanks, John. Thank you for having me.
Of course. How you doing? What you got on those notes?
I am doing all kinds of things. Well, this is, as of today, I was pretty much a podcast virgin. Here you go. This is the first time I've done this.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of the firsts for people, which is awesome.
Okay.
But like I told you when I contacted you, I really want to highlight people that are in Shorewood doing stuff, people that are in Milwaukee doing stuff, so business owners or people that are making a difference or pushing something, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I picked you up.
Okay.
So the very first thing I'm going to ask you is going to be a curveball. What do you think about when you look up at the stars?
What do I think about? What I think about when I look at the stars is how far does it go?
And forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we think it goes forever. Don't know.
Exactly.
But it's amazing the difference when you look up at the stars when you're living in Shorewood versus when you look up in the stars in a small town in Iowa, like I did growing up. And,
that's where you grew up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you see the vast difference.
You see what it's supposed to look like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's a very interesting thing. And I have a theory about city folk with the stars, like compared to country folk or other people from other countries or up north or whatever, like just your childhood and the way your brain is even wired by looking up at the stars. Like if you're here in Milwaukee, you know, there's a lot of people that maybe even think the earth is flat because they don't see the stars or whatever the case be. But
yeah,
like growing up in Iowa, you could even see the Milky Way belt, everything. And here you see the moon and 2 stars.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I even think about like 200 years ago, 300 years ago, before all the light pollution and everything like that. Like imagine that stuff. Imagine it could be a party every night. People would want to just go out and just watch.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what you did as a kid, like just going out and stargazing. And we can't do that in any cities. And that's where the most people live. So it's weird that I don't know if it's designed like that. I don't want to get into conspiracies. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Because as a kid, you took it for granted. You'd walk outside, we'd camp out, and you just look up and the sky is filled. It's filled with stars. When I moved, then I moved to a large city like Milwaukee, and you look up and you can see maybe part of Orion's belt, maybe the Big Dipper if you really, really have a clear night. And you're just like, okay, what happened to everything?
And then you probably forget about it, right?
Yeah. It's like, well, I know they're there. The stars are there. They're there somewhere. We just can't see them.
Mm-hmm. Now, growing up in the city, people don't even know that they're there.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that does to your psyche as a human, and like being a creature on this planet is, I would think that has a negative effect. Not knowing what's actually above you. I don't know. You're not a doctor.
Yeah.
You're not a doctor. But you know what I mean?
I just play one on TV.
What movie? What movie?
No movie. That's just my line.
I'll put you in a movie. I'm going to have you play a doctor in my movie.
There you go.
Because I'm going to do a movie based off the store.
Dr. J.
Yeah, Dr. J. There you go. I'll have you carry a basketball. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my nickname is also Jay, but you're actually Jay.
Actually Jay, J-A-Y.
That's a cool.
Yeah. My friends growing up, they always said, well, you know, your parents knew you weren't that smart, so they gave you a 1-letter name. Like, all right.
You have any brothers or sisters?
I do. I'm number 2 of 6.
Oh, wow.
I have an older brother, myself, 2 younger sisters, 2 younger brothers.
And they're in Iowa still or all over?
One is in Des Moines. One is in Bentonville, Arkansas. I am here. And the other 3 are still in my hometown in Iowa.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the hometown?
It's called Fort Madison, Iowa, home of the state penitentiary.
That's where it started. Is that what you're saying? Or just that's where the state penitentiary is?
That's where the state penitentiary is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I take things literally sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Iowa living. That's not considered God country, is it?
I don't think so. No.
Just corn country. And
corn country. A lot of pigs.
A lot of pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you grow up on a farm?
Did not grow up on a farm, but I did a lot of farming because my grandfather had a farm. So we worked there, and my high school friends had farms, so we worked there. Everything from baling hay to harvesting the corn to literally castrating the pigs. Yeah.
And what was the purpose of that?
Well, the purpose of it is the great thing about if you were raising pigs is that after they're born, they can be ready for market within 6 months. So so they would castrate the males in order to help fatten them up. Fatten them up, and they'd be able to send them to market. You could do 2 or 3 times a year. You could send your
fresh pups,
fresh pigs.
What are the baby
market.
pigs called? Piglets. Right?
Piglets, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So you did like a state fair type thing,
in the sense of
like you brought pigs to the market, or was it just
no,
like a dirty
you
market?
take them to slaughter.
Okay, and you just brought them there. They weigh them, and they go, here's 80 cents.
Yeah,
whatever.
Whatever there was going to the price per pound.
Did you ever do show pigs or anything? Did you know
not.
anyone?
No.
How about the Iowa State Fair?
Went to the Iowa State Fair, but no, never.
I would assume it'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Better than here?
It's interesting because the Wisconsin State Fair is more. It's almost Wisconsin State Fair is kind of like just a festival you'd have down at the lakefront, just like Summerfest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more partying, a lot more bands than they would have at Iowa.
And Iowa's more like like the one farm section, corn maze and stuff like that. Maybe food. Interesting.
But it's been over 30 years since I've been to the Iowa State Fair, so it may have changed from the way it was when I was growing up.
Do you have any fun barn parties in high school or stuff?
Oh yeah, all the time. And barn parties, pond parties. You'd
what's that? A pond? Oh,
a pond, like a pond.
P-O-N-D.
Like water.
Yeah, okay.
P-O-N-D.
Yeah.
And that's where the party was that night. And so people would just come, and there would be a bonfire, and there would be beer, and there would be music out in the middle of a pasture next to the water.
Good old days, right?
Yeah, the good old days.
I would agree, probably, even though I didn't do it. I've seen it in movies, and it looks amazing. Wow. Okay. Well, I guguess let's talk about the Shorewood Men's Club. What is the process of even becoming the president? How much did you have to pay for that?
Yeah, it didn't cost me my firstborn anything, nothing like that.
Okay.
So, my history with the Shorewood Men's Club is
actually pause that.
Yep.
Let's explain to the people what the Shorewood Men's Club is.
Okay, so the Shorewood Men's Club, it is a local civic philanthropic organization. It's been around for over 60 years. Okay. I do believe, if my memory serves me, the 70th year will be coming up in, I think, 2028 or 2027, around there. So 70 years. It was just started as by a group of gentlemen and as an opportunity to socialize. But then they started to raise money and started to give back to the community. So myself, I had a neighbor lived up the street from me, and for years, Jay, you have to join the men's club. You have to join the men's club. And I said, Brad, I'm not old enough, because everybody you'd run into was old, like retirement age old.
Yeah.
And finally, he just broke me down. I go, okay, fine. So I joined, and probably for about the first 10 years, let's say about 8 to 10 years, all I did was worked at the barbecue, chicken barbecue. That was it. Paid my dues. Chicken barbecue, didn't go to a whole lot. And then when
sounds like me.
And then yeah. But that's I've been in your shoes as well. And they when my daughter got out of high school and started college, I had more time, so I got on the board.
Okay.
And so I've been on the board probably 10 years now. And then this last year, they'd asked me before about taking over as president, and I said no, I just didn't have the time. But now I have more time, and so last year they asked me. I said I would, and I'm currently the president.
So it's not a vote or anything. It's kind of you deserve this. You should lead us.
Yeah, or it's this is something we need somebody. You've been on the board. You've been a member a long time. This is something that you can do.
Okay. So there's no vote for it.
There's no vote. No.
Okay. We are in a
Yeah. Well, I must be doing something right because they've asked me to be the president again next year. So
Awesome.
and
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you too. So if there's no vote, that means that every year a president could be different.
yes,
But how do you know what the longest standing president was?
that I don't.
Okay.
There's only been, I don't know, I don't recall since I've joined. So I don't recall there being a president who did it 2 years in a row. I know there's at least one or two that did it for a year, then they were out, and then they came back and did it another year. But I'm sure there's
Grover,
history.
right? Grover did that. Rover.
Oh yeah, Grover Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's interesting. And is that because they want to just give it to the next guy, or they just couldn't handle it, or do you know? I'm not trying to talk bad about guys, but
I don't know. I mean, it's
they stepped down though more,
yeah.
so they didn't ask to be. So that you get asked.
Yes.
You can't be like, I like that. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, because I was asked if I wanted to continue, and I said I'm more than willing to. If someone else wants to step up and be the president, I'm fine with it. I can step down and still remain on the board and be of value to the organization.
And that decision comes from the board, kind of. So there's like a small vote.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how many board members do we have?
We have 18.
Oh wow.
So there's a president, and then there's the treasurer, vice president. We have a vice president of special events, and then we have a grants committee board member. That we also have sergeant at arms, who's responsible for the money and, for example, at the barbecue.
That is
Bob Schumacher.
Oh, it's Bob. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have directors. So there's 3 gentlemen who are directors for 3 years, 3 gentlemen who are directors for 2 years, 3 gentlemen who are directors for 1 year.
And they set up like the year planning, or what do they do?
Yeah. So the objective of the whole board is here's our schedule, because we have speakers, we do dinners and speaker programs throughout the year. They're usually on Wednesdays, and other special events that we do. It's all planned out on the calendar for the year. So if you're a member, you get the calendar and say, okay, here are the evenings where there's going to be a dinner program with a speaker, or okay, we're doing a Christmas party, or we're doing a St. Patrick's Day party.
Great parties.
Yeah.
Christmas party is great.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is great.
Yeah.
Chicken dinner is great.
Yeah. Yeah. The chicken barbecue is wonderful. Yeah. This year, so for example, at Christmas, we have select from the high school. We have the orchestra come in, select members of the orchestra. We pay them, and they come and play Christmas music. And everything takes place at Hubbard Park Lodge. So it's decorated beautifully. The food is good. The atmosphere is good. They have a fire going.
Yeah, I saw the new tree. They put the tree in the middle of the room.
Yeah,
which that was cool.
Yeah,
for breakfast, it definitely takes a lot of chairs away. But
yeah,
you go to breakfast over there?
I've been there before for breakfast. Yeah. And their fish fry, and some of theirs, like we've gone before for Mother's Day. Okay. They'll do a Mother's Day buffet.
Yeah, I know they put a TV in.
Yeah.
Was that who owns Hubbard? A member, right?
Yes, but he just manages it. He rents it from, I think the village may own it.
Oh, okay.
But his role is he's the owner of Twisted Fisherman.
Where's that?
It's down on Canal Street, down by Potawatomi. It's a large, very popular restaurant and bar down on the canal.
It's under the big apartment buildings, right? Or is that a different fishing? There's a famous not fishing, but fish food, whatever you call it.
Yeah, it could be Twisted
Seafood.
Fisherman. Yeah, because it's right near.
But it's next to the water.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, it's right on the water. So people pull up in their boats. They're on the canal. They pull up. They get out. Yeah, but you're very close to Potawatomi Casino and the Marquette athletic fields down there.
What was I saying before that?
No,
you were just talking about the board and yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that though. You were here for the flood, right? Of 2010?
Yes. Yep.
How was that?
Well, we didn't have any water in the basement. That was a good thing.
You were higher up.
No, we just we just didn't. Nothing came up through the drains, and we've never had an issue with that. But you go one block north on Ardmore Street, they had flooding. It was hard to say who because a lot of people got hit. We did not.
What was Edgewood? That was the street that just had literal waves going down it?
Could be.
Or was that,
Could-
what's
could-
the
could be
street that
Edgewood.
goes to right by Sherwin Williams?
Yeah, that's Edgewood. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So you've seen videos of it and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, I just seen that, and it was interesting because my lady was here, but you're the first person that I've had on that actually experienced that, and I seen, and it was literally up to people's chests
Oh, yes.
at autos and stuff. But
Yes.
you didn't get affected.
We didn't. No.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah. And so
I was hoping for 15 minutes of story on that one.
I know plenty of people who unfortunately got flooded out, but we did not.
Well, that answers that, I guess. So, I'm going to touch back on, you said that there's, when you first joined, there was a lot of older men in the group and whatever else. So you've seen this. How have you seen that social media or the internet has affected those exact people? Like just older men, even older than you. How old are you?
I am 62.
Oh, you look good. There
Thank
go.
you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So I guess it would be even you because were you 40 when the iPhone came out? Or 45?
No, it's when did the iPhone come out?
2006 or 2006, 2007?
Yeah, I was 40s. Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you lived 10 more years than I have without cell phones, basically.
Yes.
Well, without really, really good cell phones. And that, have you seen it change members, or I don't know what I'm really asking, I guess, just the effect that you've seen even on your friends or older people or older brothers, or what has the effect of that been? Because I know what the effect, sorry to keep going on, but the effect that it has and is affecting children nowadays. New kids are just put the kid raising a kid, put the iPad in front of them for 8 years or 8 months, 8 hours, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that affecting members in the group or just older guys your age that are, it's just changing their life, they forgot what life was and now they're addicted to this stuff?
Yeah, it's interesting question, and my observation is the value that the iPhone has and the social media is the ability to get a message out. As far as for example, we have an Easter egg hunt coming up on the Saturday before Easter, and it's something that we've done for decades. So it's easier now to put that on Facebook and get it out to the general public, so they know the place, the dates, the times, what to bring. We can send out messages just to the Shorewood Men's Club. So it's an easier way to get the word out. And what I don't see is when we have the meetings, you don't see people on their phones. People are communicating. They're talking. And
that's good.
Like I said, when I joined, there were a lot of older gentlemen, and now I'd have to say probably our average age is about 50, if even that. We've had a lot of younger men like yourself who have joined over the last 3 or 4 years, and so I haven't seen it have a negative effect. There was because when we send out our roster, everybody's emails on there, their phone numbers on there, and we state this is only for members only, and you're not to use this to solicit anything. And we had one member who was sending some things out. This was late last year, and talked to him, said, okay, that's against our bylaws. Can't be doing it. Okay, and he stopped. No, didn't go any further than that. So based on my observation with the Shorewood Men's Club is that the social media has been good in the sense of getting the word out, and
making the group bigger and having it more connected.
Yes.
So it's not. I guess that makes sense. I would assume you even know, not necessarily that it's evil, but lack of better words, to put the evil down, and to live life, because you've experienced it. So based on kids that are growing up now, they've always known an iPhone. They've always known an iPad. So they go to it as if, I think I was technically the last generation that fully developed to the age of 15 without actual, touch screen everything, So I see the effects of kids or kids that come in here, parents bring their kids in here and they put them on the couch just to shut them up. They have to they have to watch their iPod because it's a drug basically. But you guys know to put it down.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to socialize and put it down. So
Yes.
at home, you don't see it negatively affecting the guys where they're just sitting on Facebook all day now.
Not to my knowledge.
It's more of a tool for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For sure.
That's good to know because it is, I don't know. Social media is very good. It is a very good tool. Do we have a social media person for the group?
There was a member who spoke up this year and asks who was managing our Facebook page,
Mhm.
and basically said no one.
Mhm.
So he took over,
Okay.
and he's been doing a good job. Just he put stuff out. Just like for the most recent post was the Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
He put that out, and then we have another member who he just joined last fall.
Okay.
And he said, "Jay, who's in charge of your webpage?"
Mhm.
And I go, "Well, I'm not really sure if there's anyone in charge or what's going on." He goes, "How about?" He goes, "This is what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Can I help you out here?"
Yeah. So the website looks different now?
Not yet. We're
Okay.
working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. We had to provide feedback, and it'll be great when he gets it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he gets all the information that he needs from us, because we have to provide texts and photographs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to look really nice.
Yeah, I'd love to connect with those two guys.
Yeah.
Just because I have some ideas for, even if we did fun videos or whatever, just for like, even a good collage of the chicken dinner
Mhm.
or just a good professional video of Christmas dinner or just a day or just some funny videos, even if the whole group did like, who knows?
Yeah.
Fun trivia questions or something. Just
Yeah.
something to get the name out. But
Well, we have trivia night coming up.
yeah, you told when is that?
It's May, sometime in May. I don't know the exact date, but yeah, this will be our third year of doing the. This will be our third year of doing the trivia.
What is the trivia questions? Not like the question, but is it a theme or is
No.
it just full on?
We
Not a bunch of Columbo questions, is
no,
it?
it's only 60 minutes, about 20 questions, and your team is whoever you're sitting with
Mm.
as you ate, and then it's good humor. It's been
Okay.
it's been a good draw the last couple of years, so I expect the same thing this year. Yeah, we bring in an organization. I think it's Trivia Masters is who we use.
Oh, it's an official.
Yeah. Oh, it's
company that
official. Yeah,
does-
they're
okay.
coming in and they write out all the questions and stuff. So
Interesting. You know who the youngest member ever was?
I have
group?
no idea.
Am I the youngest at the moment?
Quite possibly you could be.
Oh, interesting. That is that would make sense. Do you have any ideas how we can get younger people? I mean, I could come up with 100 probably, but like, do you guys
Yeah.
think about this? Because in 20 years, if everyone's 90 years old in
Yeah.
the group, it dies.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
it's a very good question, and we don't like the biggest membership drive that we do is when at the chicken barbecue, it's you can join for half price, so it's $25, and that $25 gets you in, and that's good for an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dues are $50 annually
Mhm.
because that just covers the cost of our expenses. And so the as far as any activity we've done to try to get younger members, no, I think it's a lot of it has to do with like the individual just has to have that
Mm-hmm.
that feel, and it's like, okay, man, this is something I can do that's good for the village. They raise money, they give it back to the community. But like yourself, what
Mhm.
motivated you to join?
Ken
Okay.
came and grabbed me like this.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it just, I've always pictured myself doing politics or something, or like just community-based things.
Mhm.
But then now I've also considered myself, or not considered, but always seen myself doing movies and entertainment and comedy, and those two kind of don't mix, because
Yeah.
if I say some crazy shit here, then how do I then run for village
Oh, yeah.
office, because they're going to
Yeah.
go, oh, did you see Cosmically Speaking episode 3 when he talked about yada yada? And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, people don't really care about that, but at the same time, I think that's a benefit also to me is that I don't act politically correct necessarily,
Mhm.
if that makes sense, because
Mhm.
I feel like that's more people can, especially with the internet now, can resonate with that better.
Yeah.
Before, we're not going to get political, but before, like when we'd say in the 80s or the 70s or whatever, a good president is someone that tells me what I want to hear and has a beautiful bow tie on,
Yeah.
and he tells me and gives me the American dream. He sells me this American dream, and then I go on. Not someone that tells me the truth or whatever the case be, or
Yeah.
and I'm not putting that on whoever does that and whoever doesn't, but it's just that was a thing, being politically correct, basically lying and telling you what you want to hear,
Mhm.
and sound like a nice guy. And literally, that's most likely the most evil person in the room. That's the one hiding something.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. I don't know how I got on this, but yeah, I don't remember what I was saying
Well,
at the beginning of all this, because we were talking about younger guys, right?
Yeah.
And getting
Yep.
them in, and then I said something about I could see myself doing like local office and whatever else. I don't know what I was saying, and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
pissed when I see it, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I had something really good to say.
Lost your train of thought.
But the younger guys, like I have tons of ideas for us to do that, but at the same time, I don't know if the actual men's club group would appreciate that, because if I brought in 30 young guys
Mhm.
that are all, full of energy, want to do things different, want to test things, like, the men's club is also a
Yeah.
safe place for these guys to play sheephead or have like a good
Ex-
dinner with their friends. And I know it's all about don't be shy, don't make cliques. Like that's very
Yeah.
well known. But at the same time, if I bring 30, 20-year-olds in the room, these guys are going to be like, who the hell are these guys? What are they doing here? Yeah,
Mhm.
we got their $50, but like, how do we
Yeah.
connect these people together? And it's just does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
and it was so funny because Lisa, my wife Lisa, and I were talking last
Mhm.
night, and she mentioned something, and the bottom line was, um, eh, the bottom line was from a business perspective, the worst thing a business could say is, "This is how we've always done it," and and uh,
mm,
and that's I've seen that with the Shorewood Men's Club over the
mm,
years, but slowly, surely, you infuse different ideas, different things, different ways of doing it. And they're like, oh, okay, this works. Okay, that's more efficient. And my observation and it's simply through the men's club, is that this is the way we've always done it because only one person does it.
mm,
And no one else is willing to try anything different, stand up and do anything different, offer
mhm,
different ideas. But if someone's willing to stand up and offer the ideas and then follow through,
mhm.
we're all good. It's like, oh, okay, this works. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just my observation, and I imagine that's just not with the men's club. It's probably a lot of organizations
yeah.
where everybody has ideas, and the question is, it's a great idea. Who's going to implement it?
Mhm,
Who's going to follow through? Who's going to carry it on?
mhm.
Is what happens, and that's what I've experienced through the men's club.
Interesting. Yeah, I would love to adapt some sort of young like chapter, young division or something where it's like a slow, like even they don't have to like meet up at this. Hold on. Yeah, so that makes sense. People are definitely afraid of change or afraid of the unknown, and that's
Yes.
just a natural human
Mm-hmm.
characteristic. And then what you said, slowly implementing things like, hey, instead of mashed potatoes, we're gonna start bringing in sweet potatoes, like
Yeah.
little things like that. Just and then everyone's like, oh, these are actually better than mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Just slowly doing things like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
if that's something I would like to do that, because like that's what I was saying, I guess, with the leading or whatever. Like if I'm in this, here,
Mhm.
and I'm in Shorewood, and I'm already doing my part for sure, the community, whether it's raising taxes in the
Yeah.
business or building a community, and I don't mind doing that. And then think in 20 years from now, if I'm a member for 23 years now, it's
Mhm.
like I'm not just gonna sit around. I like to make things happen,
Yeah.
and so if it takes 23 years to slowly implement those things,
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so.
but we need those people, because like I said, in 20 years, you have to look at Not next year, like what will the group be in 20 years?
Yes.
And that has to be a goal. That has to be a set. There has to be things like that.
Yes. Yeah. This year we were approached by an organization called A Noble Cause.
Okay.
It's a local Shorewood organization, and their objective is to make Shorewood greener, eliminate plastics, eliminate styrofoam, and they approached us because at our chicken barbecue we use styrofoam. We've used styrofoam hinged lid trays
Yep.
for years. So we've been working with them, and this started probably back in October.
Okay.
And they brought in some samples of different containers that we could use because at the chicken barbecue, it's a half chicken or a half rack of ribs, so we need a certain size, and it has to be a sturdy container.
Mm-hmm.
And they all have hinged lids on them because a lot of people take it home,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't just put it on a plate.
Yeah.
And so again, we started this conversation and looking at different products back in November, and finally, we've decided on, okay, this is the container that we can acquire at Restaurant Depot. It's compostable. It's not styrofoam, and we got different forks as well.
Okay.
So it's taken us a while, but the members, because there were a couple of our dinner meetings where we had the forks and the containers there, different types, and we got feedback from everyone, and the majority of the members like, okay, we need to do this. We need to do this. It's better for the environment. Let's move forward with it. So the membership, those who had the opportunity to be at those meals, they bought into it. Like, yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
So working with another organization, but it's the fact that we're open to trying it. And it's taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but we're finally there.
That's good, because that is definitely a simple thing. That this is how we do it.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example.
It's example, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this is the way we've always done it.
Mm-hmm.
And but because I took the lead and said, okay, I'll work with them. Everybody's like, okay, fine.
Interesting. So what are some responsibilities you have as a president that no one else has in the group?
Oh, that's a good question. What? I don't think anything specific. What? One of the grants that we provide annually is a high school scholarship to a technical college. So it's $1,500 for one male student, $1,500 for one female student.
Mm-hmm.
And so the president will go to the Shorewood High School award ceremony in May
And present it.
The school will tell us who the student is. We're there to present it. Hopefully the student's there. Congratulate them. Get a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. The other thing is that in Shorewood, they've started this organization called Shorewood Core, CORE.
Okay.
And what it is once a quarter, you'll have, like, for example, the president of the Shorewood Men's Club will be there, the president of the Shorewood Foundation, president of Shorewood Seed. There'll be the director for the Business Improvement District.
Bid.
Bid. There'll be the editor for Shorewood Today, president of the Shorewood Women's Club. There's a representative there from the high school, as well as the High School Alumni Association. So once a quarter, there's probably about 12 of us that get together, and we talk about, okay, here's what each organization is doing. So everybody knows what the other organization is doing, and it enables you that opportunity to say, ooh, can we help with that? Do you need help with that? Things along those lines. So at our last meeting in January, we said, okay, here's what we have coming up. We got the barbecue, the annual barbecue coming up. These are the dates that it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that, get it on the calendars. And then for example, Shorewood Seed, they were talking about their gala that's coming up pretty soon. And so it's been a good thing where you have all all these organizations getting together to make sure we're all on the same page and we understand what's going on with the other group.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't come to you if I want another biscuit for dinner or something. You don't have those strings.
Yeah. Well, you can easily probably get 2 of them.
Yeah. Is there biscuit with the chicken dinner?
There is. It's like it's a corn muffin. Yeah.
Yes, corn muffin. And then there's something else too that I don't
There's
like.
either coleslaw or the potato salad. One of the two.
Not a fan of either. And when I become president, I'm changing it. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, that's
you'd have too much uproar from the community.
I guess I don't. It's funny. There's certain like condiments and creams and stuff. Potato salad and coleslaw are like I wouldn't eat if I was dying.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I don't know what that is or what that comes from.
Are you a ketchup guy?
No condiments at all.
No, none at all.
I am hot sauce. That's it.
I'm mustard. I'm fine with mustard. Nothing else.
Okay. That's I don't know. It's all gross. And then when you look at the back of the box, all of it's corn syrup and whatever else.
Yeah.
It's just syrupy, sugary.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
And mustard is actually down there too with me. They at Hubbard for breakfast they have mustard for the ham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my Emmy's father eats it, and he's always in front of me, and I'm just I cannot do it. All right. What you got in the notes for me? Anything?
Well, so
have we not covered any of that yet?
Well,
I got more questions for you, but is there something you want to say?
Well, there's I just wrote down a few little notes here.
Yeah.
And one of the actions that I've laid out this year is what I've started to call social fitness.
Okay.
Social fitness. And at one of our very first dinner meetings, I presented this that there was a clinical professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. And one of the things that he said is that the people who are the happiest, who stay healthiest as they age, and who live the longest are the people who have the warmest connections with other people. And good relationships are the strongest predictor of who is going to be happy and healthy as they age. So
it's like the Grinch.
And so we've just, I've been using that as the theme this year, our social fitness. It's a value to all of us, regardless of your age, to get together, be social, meet other people.
What are some of the exercises? Do you have specific ones?
No, there's no specific exercise. It's just coming to a dinner meeting, coming volunteering, and just meeting other people.
Okay.
More than anything, you just get out of the house and you meet other people. It's all about being social.
Social fitness?
Social fitness is what I've dubbed it.
Social fitness. Oh, you came up with that.
It's good for your health.
Okay.
Social fitness.
I like that.
That's what I said. Now you can tell your significant other that you're attending the men's club dinner because it's good for your health.
Awesome.
Social fitness.
Are there a lot of women that are wives of men that are in the men's clubs that are in the women's club?
That I don't know, but we have several members, female members whose husbands have passed away, and they're still members, and we dub them emeritus members. So they get the newsletter, they can come to all the dinners, the speaker programs. They are like a member, but they're not paying an annual due. And then we have several older members, same way. Some who used to live here, but they don't anymore. So, but they still want to stay in touch. So again, we've dubbed them emeritus members, and they get they're on the email chain, the mails, and anything that has to do with mailing, etc.
Interesting. That's nice. Is there a Hall of Fame or anything for the group? Is there like a...
No, I don't, not that I know of. Yeah. It's so funny
like
because...
Like a memorial or anything. Yeah.
No, because historically, there's never been an historian, to my knowledge. To my knowledge. I mean, we have bylaws and we have all the legal documentation, but it's I don't think there's any history as far as who was the president this year, any of that. As far as I know. Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, it would be cool to have a I guess someone could put it together, but like overall the years have like even a digital scrapbook. It doesn't have to like
Mhm.
on that new website. You should pitch that to that guy actually. Trying to figure out all the old photos, maybe some good stories, like the first ever group or the first
Yeah.
president, like just a little thing about them. And
Mm-hmm.
but it would be cool to see a virtual scrapbook of
Yeah.
just the time and maybe stats. I think we sold how many chickens last year?
Last year we ordered 800 chickens and we went through them.
Yeah, it's
We
beautiful.
we went
It's
we
good
went we
too.
went through them. Yeah, and the ribs because the chickens come to us from Rupina's.
Okay,
Rupina's Grocery.
where's that at?
It is like on 76th and Beloit, maybe. It's in West Dallas.
Okay, it's an actual
Mm-hmm. It's the actual grocery store.
grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they've been doing our chicken for decades.
Hmm.
And then the ribs come from Twisted Fisherman.
Call back.
Yeah, yeah. So
Did we talk about that before or on here?
about what?
Twisted Fisherman.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay,
that
on,
before.
on here. Interesting.
Yeah. So they've started to do the ribs, and they do a phenomenal job with the ribs.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
I got another question for you.
Sure.
What is one thing that is absolutely great about our group, our club, and then what is one thing that needs to be changed?
Oh, very good question. I see what is great about our club is how we give back to the community in the sense of, we do the fundraiser for the chicken barbecue, fundraiser, the turkey raffle. And we, like, for example, last year, we granted almost $14,000 back to the village and to organizations such as the Shorewood Rec Department, scholarships for the high schoolers, sponsoring students for the Badger Boys and Girls State, money to the organizations, different parts of the rec center. So we support the Little League. There's just a lot of opportunities where we can give back. The drama department, at farmers market. These are all organizations where we support them.
Mm-hmm. And all that money comes from the chicken and turkey?
Those are the only two places it comes from. Yeah.
We could add a third. Could add a fourth, technically.
Well, we used to do the 4th of July, but
pay for the fireworks?
No. Well,
Okay.
we donate to that, but no, we
Okay.
would use the 4th of July as a fundraiser because we used to have burgers and hot dogs in a bar. But we were having such a difficult time of getting volunteers. So we're like, okay, we'll let it go. And it was a hard decision, but we made it, and we're fine not doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot that goes into the chicken barbecue.
Mm.
So those are the things that we do that I see are very good, very forward to the community. The thing that if there's anything that I think we could, I'd like to see us do better is where we have about 100 members, and probably only a third of them are really active in the sense of we will see them at a meeting once or twice a year. They'll volunteer to work at the chicken barbecue, but they still pay their dues. It's the thing. They're still paying they pay their dues. They're willing to pay their dues. Like, okay, it helps out.
So getting more people and also more activity within the weekly, because that's you're saying on a week. Like we have every Wednesday, correct?
It's every other Wednesday.
Every other Wednesday.
Yeah.
So every other Wednesday. So on a normal night, when you go, it's only 20, 30 guys.
Yeah. There's usually about, we've done very well this year. We've had every dinner, we've averaged over 30 guys.
But it's the same guys.
Most of the time? For the most part, yeah. But every now and then you'll get one or two others you get to see that you have some people that you haven't seen in a while.
Is it you think it's the night, that the day that doesn't work well for everyone? Have you done a consensus of a day that might work better? For better turnout?
We did a dinner survey. I'll say about 4 years ago to try to get better insight, and it was the one thing that did not come up is that it's a bad night.
Okay.
Yeah, Wednesdays seems to work.
It seems there's not much going on
No.
on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I feel like. Or
Yeah, so it again, it seems so. The Wednesdays seem to work. No one said, "Oh, Wednesday's a bad night," but it's so much of this, and you know this, John. So much of it is like as an individual. How much do you want to put yourself out there?
Mm-hmm.
Is the thing. Do you have? Is that your personality to go out and walk into a room where, yes, we're all part of the same organization, but comfortably walk around, good to see you, because everybody's wearing a name tag.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, nice to talk to you. Everybody's different.
True.
And it's not, we're not here to try to make you be someone that you're not comfortable being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if like more, the trivia night seems like a good thing, just more so themed nights, or I guess, I would see a theme. I bet themed nights have a good turnout.
Yeah.
Like the trivia night might have 60 people.
Yeah, good turnout. Yeah.
But just a regular night, a guy's like, nothing's going to happen. I don't need to go.
Yeah.
You know, that's how, even, I guess, I've never really thought that deep about what I think about on a Wednesday night, because they're at 6, right? 6:30?
Dinner starts at 6, and
Yeah.
social time starts at 6, and then we eat about 6:30, and then the speaker will start around 7. And it's normally done by 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm here till 7.
Yeah.
So it's like I've come to peace with I can't make a normal Wednesday
Yeah.
day, and it is. I mean, I have to do this before that, and that
well,
is
for
what
sure.
it is.
Yeah.
So I never really thought about if I did have the time, what would be an excuse for me not going? You know,
Mhm.
I don't really. I would probably go, actually. I just don't have the time to go.
Yeah.
But if it's, and then there's also a speaker every time, every dinner.
Yeah, there is. Our first vice president, Alexander Sandy Pendleton, has done a phenomenal job getting speakers last year. And
Sandy's got long hair, right?
He did. Now it's short again.
Oh, okay.
He cut.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a nice long hair, but he's done a phenomenal job this year with speakers.
He's the one who books them,
Mhm.
and he's part of the board.
Yes.
What is his position?
He's called the first vice president of programs.
Okay.
So, you know, he's got he's got posters that puts up around the village, because the events are open. They're open to the public. It's not just for the Shorewood Men's Club. So if a couple of weeks ago we had the local president of NPR
Okay.
was speaking, and we had over 40 people.
So people that aren't, sorry to cut you off, people that aren't part of the club can go to a Wednesday meeting.
Sure. Yeah, they can go to, yes. If the dinners are normally $20. If they want dinner, they can purchase a dinner. The bar is open.
They just don't get a name tag.
They don't get a name tag.
And they got to sit in the back. They got to sit upstairs.
No.
Upstairs is nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get up on the balcony. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to. No one has to sit up there.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. What were we just saying?
Oh, we were just talking about speaker programs, and you know what's it take to get people out. But it's the thing is that it's not what we experience with the Shorewood Men's Club is no different than what a lot of organizations experience, because you're volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
It's all volunteer.
And 30 guys is not bad.
No, we're not losing money. We're not losing money on our speaker programs, because that's.
You pay the speakers?
We do not.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We don't pay speakers. But so, for example, we had we pay the orchestra when they come at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We have for Valentine's Day we have a bluegrass band there. We pay them. St. Patrick's Day we had Irish dancers there. We paid them. Yeah, and they're all very, very good.
Sounds nice. Yeah, I have to. What's the? Do we have a golf outing coming up?
We have So they do one in the fall and one in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my calendar here in front of me, but yeah, it's usually on a Wednesday at Lincoln And it's just if you want to golf, show up to golf, and then we head over to Hubbard Park afterward because that'll be the last. It's a family night. It's the last. It's usually the first meeting of the year in September, then the last meeting of the year in June. Like on a Wednesday, usually the Wednesday after the chicken barbecue.
So July and August are the months that are off for the group?
Yes.
Oh, okay. For some that makes sense. For some reason, I thought it ended after Christmas.
No, the years
and
go
then it starts
from
up in spring.
the years kind of go from October 1 to October 1 to July 1. So, 10 months out of the year.
So then July
and August
and September.
Are open. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we start up again in September.
And then during the chicken dinner, someone can sign up for half price.
Yeah.
And that will go for the one that starts in October.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. Because the chicken dinner is June?
June 14th.
June 14th.
Second Saturday in June. Yeah, we're we're keeping our fingers crossed this year that Lake Drive is going to be open. So it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be done at least on the east side, which would be the northbound lane. And that's obviously where Atwater Park is. So it's supposed to be done by June 10th.
That side.
Yeah. So there'll be access to the park. People, you won't be able to park. You won't be able to park on the west side, which would be the southbound, because that'll still be under construction.
A lot of people walk to it anyways. So.
Yeah. So I've regular communication with the construction gentleman, the foreman, and he's like, here's where we are. So we just talked to him last week. We'll talk to him again in a few more weeks.
Wonder if we could get some sort of like a group of rickshaws to get together and like promote the phone number because it's closed. So like have delivery, $5-10 delivery fee. And deliver in Shorewood.
Well, it's interesting because we used to deliver, but then it became a concern liability perspective of if I'm out delivering chicken dinners to someone who had ordered them, and I get into a car wreck.
Oh, you could put drugs in it too.
Yeah, well, there's that as well. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
You get in a car wreck, put it all back in, bring it to them, and they go, "What happened?"
Yeah, so we don't do the deliveries anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. But there could even be, Girl Scout cookies. Why don't we do a men's club cookie?
Well, yeah. I bought my Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, I actually don't eat them anymore. They give me headaches, and there was a study about how they have really bad stuff in them.
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
Not
but it's for the girls, but still, they could change. You know?
Yeah.
And they're just like, this is how we've always done it.
Yeah.
So that's what they say. So yeah, it would be fun, like a little, I don't know, a chili competition or some sort of like cooking competition. Like I could come up with a million things.
I thought one of the thoughts I had would be to bring in a comedian for one of our.
I could do 10 minutes
for one of our dinners. Well, I know a gentleman who Shorewood gentleman. He's probably about early 30s. He's a local comedian. He's funny.
Okay.
Shorewood guy. So I was thinking about that for the fall.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Bringing a comedian in instead of a speaker.
Yeah, that would be definitely fun.
Something different.
Yeah, a little bit of my background. I've always wanted to do comedy, and I still just haven't gotten on stage. But I've been writing, whether it's bits or skits and movie ideas and everything for a decade, literally.
Really?
So my phone is just filled with thousands of ideas and stuff. And then there's a show called Kill Tony. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Did you see the guy that went up on that Trump rally at Madison Square Garden that talked about Puerto Rico? He was a comedian.
Oh yes. Yeah.
That's so Tony Hinchcliffe.
Okay.
He randomly got invited to that. Did normal material.
Yeah.
He has a show called Kill Tony.
Okay.
So he was also. Did you watch the roast of Tom Brady on Netflix?
I did not.
Do you watch comedy stuff at all like that?
Not really. Not that often.
Okay. Well, anyways, he has a show called Kill Tony. It's a big podcast. It's him. He has a guy that helps, and then he has a guest or two, and then he pulls names out of a bucket, and they come up randomly, do 60 seconds of comedy, and then he interviews them. So that's the process
okay.
of the podcast. And now it's become so big. It's at the Joe Rogan Comedy Club in Austin, and he has 200 people every Monday sign up.
Wow.
And so in April, I'm going.
And these are all starving comedians.
Yes,
they want that recognition.
and some good ones, and guys that work the door there and whatever else.
Yeah.
But so, as you know, I popped your cherry for the podcast.
Yeah.
You said you're a virgin here.
Yeah.
I'll cut that if you don't want that here. But so that I always had the envision that would be my first time on stage. So I'm going to put my name in the bucket, and God willing, I get pulled, and that'll be a great time. But then if I don't, then I'll actually come back and start doing stuff like at the Improv of it's in Brookfield. It's right by the Senex. You know the corners.
Do they no longer have one
They do.
downtown?
They do, but it's very, again, I don't want to get political at all, but I will. No. No. But it's it's very like, it's, I don't know, the best way to explain it is like theater kid like that think they're funny, or like that you can't say certain words, you can't say or joke about certain things, and it's like
too politically correct.
Yes, and then like just too PC in the way of like, people that get upset if you make a racial joke. There's a big thing about white women now that get upset for people of color. They're like, I'm not upset. Why are you getting upset for me? And then that's who runs the news and everything else.
Yeah.
Not runs the news, but that's who posts about it. And it's like, did you see this comedian say this thing about this Mexican girl? And it's like this white girl that's getting offended for her. And I just don't. There's a lot of people that are like that, and that's fine. The type of person you are is the type of person you are. But there's certain things like I am very unfiltered, and when something's funny, I will try it and I will say it. I'm not gonna, someone's gonna get hurt about anything you ever say, and there's that type of comedy, and then there's people that, it's I don't know, I might have to cut all this, but like, the River West community, or like a Brooklyn community where it's like an alt comedy. It's like no swears, no racist things, no pointing out anything about anyone, no making fun of anything, you know, and that's just like, how do you be funny?
Yeah, you can only make fun of yourself.
Exactly, not even, because people are going to be like, it's okay, man, accept who you are.
Yeah.
It's like that long story long, I eventually will be on stage and stuff. I do skits for the store, and I have been writing a show based on the store, and writing, like, it may basically be like Curb Your Enthusiasm and Pawn Stars together. Have you seen Curb?
Yes.
Yeah, so that, just like Seinfeld on steroids. So that will be here, and then I plan on doing an actual movie in the summer here.
Oh, very nice.
But yeah, entertaining and like, comedy and stuff, I just always have loved it. So
you'll have to get Ken Zemica to be in your movie for you.
That's the guy?
No, well, he's the Shorewood Men's Club guy.
Ken.
Ken.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, Ken. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have him as a drill sergeant or something.
He gets a cameo in the movie. He wears his Shorewood Men's Club shirt.
But yeah, so a little bit about me, I guess, is I have a lot of ideas and stuff. And this was the first, like what we're in right now was my first, because I've been doing it forever, and I knew the business side of it. Like I knew the things that would sell, so I could learn how to properly own a business, how to pay all these bills, how to do the taxes, all these things. And then I didn't also have to worry about the product. So like I would love to have a restaurant in Shorewood. Certain types of things I think are really, really missing. A comedy club would be great in Milwaukee eventually that I would love to run. Yeah. Like certain things, like Milwaukee is a great place for people to try things and grow. There's a lot of room to grow here. So I don't know.
Will you? I know Jim Gaffigan's coming to town. Was it Nate Begance is coming? Would you go see those guys?
Nate, I would. Jim, he's a little too clean for me, if anything. And he's big, but I do love him. Like, you remember way back, like his Hot Pockets joke? He just would say Hot Pockets all like crazy and make weird noises eating them and stuff. Oh. He's very funny, though. He's a very big professional. Like, I just saw Whitney Cummings last weekend.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, so Whitney I saw. Then a week before that, we just saw Rick Glassman. You would not know who he is. No. He's very funny. And then Theo Vaughn. Have you ever heard of Theo Vaughn?
I've heard of Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, Theo Vaughn is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very, very funny. Who else? We've seen so many people. couple of the guys. Have you seen Impractical Jokers?
I have.
Yeah. So Sal,
Yeah.
and then Joe. We've seen both of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of people, but yeah, there's a lot of people that come here too.
Mhm.
That are, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like to go see it.
Yeah. It's if they're good,
Yeah, exactly.
it's great.
And then it's most comedians that can sell out the Paps are good.
Yeah.
That's probably who's going, right?
Mhm.
That's where Jim
I
is.
think Jim is, yeah, but I think Nate Begans is at Fiserv.
Oh, Pagazzi,
Pagazzi.
right?
Yeah.
Pagazzi.
Pagazzi, okay.
But you also say Blind, so I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he's at Fiserv.
Yeah, he's big. He's a
Mhm.
really good comedian. You gonna
Okay.
see him?
Yeah.
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 He's very good.
Because Lisa, my wife Lisa's into comedies.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to sleep and she's got her iPad out and she's watching. She's watching Gaffigan and.
Okay. So she likes family comedies, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Does she listen to raunchy stuff at all?
Not to my knowledge. Maybe after I fall asleep.
That's funny. Yeah, I saw Seinfeld last year. That was great.
Yeah,
because I've been.
We saw him early in his career when he.
Oh, really?
When he was still doing his show. Saw him at the Pass. He was excellent. Riverside. Take the back. Riverside. He was good.
I saw him at Miller High Life. We're like third row.
Oh yeah.
Like $300 a ticket or something.
Yeah.
But I've idolized him as a person. And Seinfeld I grew up on Seinfeld, that 70s show, and Futurama. Have you ever seen any of those things?
Seinfeld, that 70 shows, yes. But the last one you mentioned.
Futurama is a animated show.
Yes, that's right.
It's the other Matt Groening show that he did. So he did Simpsons and he also did Futurama.
Okay.
So those three things I've seen so many times over. So there's a lot of, it like raised me. And then now I actually have anxiety as a person because I've watched so much things. So I'm always looking for my next line.
Oh, really?
In life, instead of just letting a thing happen. Like I've noticed it now more, but I literally have anxiety because I don't know what I'm supposed to say because I don't know my line. Like, you watch a movie, everything's so perfect in a movie. You're like, how did he come up with that so quick to answer that?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's because someone took time to write it, dude.
Yeah.
Just live life.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know how we got off on that. Let me. Yeah, comedy's fun. You should definitely have that guy on, especially if he's for everyone. A family comedian and just fun stuff. That was an idea. I don't know if I wrote it down, but that was one of the ideas I had that we should have. Just different stuff. But like you said, you can't have too many things all at once because then that's when you get kicked back. I would assume that's when you get kicked back.
Yeah.
From just doing stuff. What else you got on there for me?
That's.
I got a couple more questions for you, but I wanted to.
Well, the only other thing I wrote down here is that kind of our slogan has become "We're involved because we live here." One of the
put it on a T-shirt.
One of the members saw it someplace else and goes, "Yeah, that's pretty much should be the motto of the Shorewood Men's Club. Is that we're involved in the village of Shorewood because we live here."
Yeah. I mean, that is, I would assume that you would agree, but local and community politics is everything.
Oh, you're in
because too many people pay attention to the big thing or what's happening in London or whatever, and they're not worrying about their neighbors or their own things. I don't know if that's by design, by conspiracy time. I don't know if that's by design, from the higher up, but it's like you should be paying attention to your neighbors and yourself, and that's good that we have that. Do you know if like Whitefish Bay has a men's club?
They do not. No, we have a couple members from Whitefish Bay. Yeah, they come down.
Did you haze them before they came?
No, we didn't. No hazing.
All right, so I have a question for you here, because we can cut this too. You might. I don't know if you want to cut this.
Okay,
but I've heard this from other people that I've talked to the men's club about, so I'm gonna actually so yeah, a bunch of I've talked to adults or whatever, and they think the men's club is just a bunch of old Republican guys. But the red doesn't help either.
Oh yeah.
But and if it is, it is. But the group is supposed to be a safe place for members of the community to gather
Yes.
and connect. And how do we get people with that pre-notion? Is that the right word? Pre-notion?
Image or
Yeah, how do we get that away from that? Because I've talked to many men before that have said that. Like that little thing, like, and the red shirts, everything. It's like, it's a bunch of old white guys, old white Republicans. How do we get young guys that have open minds in the group, if that's the image of the group that people that know nothing about the group have?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I look at the village of Shorewood, and I think from a voting perspective, 11 to 15% in the village votes Republican.
That sounds about right.
So there's a very high probability with 100 men in Shorewood Men's Club that the majority of them are Democratic or Democrat.
Or have no stance at all.
And we never talk politics. And we had a dinner meeting the Wednesday right after the 2024 election, presidential election.
No talk.
No talk.
Is that also the respect of older men that know not to talk politics because nothing good comes out of it? Because I was taught that you don't talk. Like, why are you talking about things that you can't do anything about?
Exactly.
You're not supposed to.
It's like that in religion. It's like
Exactly. It's something that's supposed to be to yourself too. I remember at a point, even when I grew up, like, you didn't tell people who you voted for.
No.
And now it's everywhere. Now you get tattoos. Yeah, I voted for him in 2014, 16, 18. And it's like, I don't know what. I think that's a cry for help within community, and that's maybe the internet and whatever else, because people can see so many things that they shouldn't. You should be worrying about your community. Now on your phone, you can see every tragedy all at once.
Yes.
And now you're forgetting to worry about what's most important, which is your life in front of you.
Yeah.
And so that I don't know if you've ever heard that too, but that image of, old white guys, red shirts.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with that. Or that's exactly what I want. There's the two things between it. And where does that, and Shorewood's colors are red, I feel like. The school's colors are red. So that has nothing to do with it.
No.
But that, I think it's just the time and age that we are in, that if you're old and white, you're a Republican.
Yeah. But again, you
Exactly.
live in Shorewood.
Yeah, exactly. But if there's 100 guys and 10% of them, that whole group could be just made for that group, Like if there's only 10% of Muslim in Shorewood, well, all 10% are at the mosque. So if all 10% of the Republicans are at the men's club, it could be there's that's
but
where
then
they
if
meet.
the other 90% are there as well. It's like, well, then you're going to kind of dilute the 10%. Yeah,
but that's
I will say it's like I said, we had a meeting the day after the election. Nothing. I mean, if there are one or two people talking, it's fine. But you didn't hear. I didn't talk to no one that I know of said anything political. It's like, okay, we're moving forward. Because we used to. The one thing, we didn't do a candidate forum this year. So historically, the Shorewood Women's Club and the Shorewood Men's Club would do a candidate forum for if you're running for school board, if you're running for village board. But we didn't do them this year because there were only 2 openings and there were only 2 candidates. So there's no need.
For the board of Shorewood?
Or it might have been for the school board or the village board, yeah.
So who signed up got it?
Basically, yeah.
Do people know that?
It's right there when they vote. I'd have to imagine in the village of Shorewood, people know it.
So I could have stepped up and went against a person.
Yes, you could have.
Yeah.
And then if that had been the case, then historically the Shorewood Men's Club, we would do a candidate forum, and the candidates would be up there, and questions would be asked, and questions from the general public, and anybody could. It's open to the public, so anybody could come in.
So that then technically you could have a party vote, because if that person stood for something and the group is going behind it. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that
I
we
don't
we just
understand.
we offer just a venue and an opportunity for the general public to come to the candidate forum and ask questions of the candidates.
For those candidates.
For those
Okay.
candidates. So the three
Okay,
candidates
okay,
would be sitting
okay.
up there, and there'd be a moderator, and you would write down your questions, hand them in, and they'd all.
Interesting.
It wasn't a debate,
Mm-hmm.
but it was.
Just
one.
the next person didn't get to answer that question as well.
Yeah, everybody got to. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's we didn't do it this year simply because
there was only 2 people.
two people. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, that is definitely something. Eventually, I don't think I'm completely. Is it nice out?
It was sunny, but it was cool, windy.
As soon as it's 50 degrees, there's a parade all day on the street. But yeah, definitely that is something. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I definitely will run for something eventually in Shorewood. And I think a lot of people know me, and they know actually what I stand for, and the community is what's most important. Doesn't matter my views. It's about making
what's in the best interest
of the community. Exactly. And so if me swearing or making fun of something publicly is something that people can't handle, then it's whatever, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think I can do a good job. Which, why do I think that? Does that mean I can? Or does that mean I can't? Like, why do I even have this inclination of even wanting to do it? Like, same for yourself. Like, what inside of you said, yeah, I can be president. I'll do this.
Yeah, I think I just sat there, and I've been on the board for at least over 5 years. I'm like, okay, if they're asking me to, now's the time. Fine.
Yeah,
I'll do it. If they never ask me, I'd be like, okay, I'm all right.
Cool. Yeah, it's not something that keeps you up at night.
No, not at all.
Not that.
But Lisa likes being called the first lady.
Yeah, that is awesome. What does she get? What's her benefits?
Nothing.
Red carpet. Red carpet for the meetings.
She shows up at the meetings, and all they do is they talk to Lisa and mock me. It's like dorks.
That's funny. I'm gonna hit you with a 180 right here. What is your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, my favorite childhood memory? Wow. Well, we used to have BB gun fights. That was always fun.
Oh my!
But they were just a little one.
Yeah.
Like you could literally, and we'd be down in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you could literally see the BB coming towards you. It'd be sort of Matrix X-esque because you just kind of move out
Before the Matrix.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. That and we would we were in grade school, and there was myself and 2 other of my classmates. We were in grade school, and we all lived out in the country. The 2 of them lived on dairy farms, and we just lived further out. So we would go camping for a weekend, and literally my parents would drop me off at one of their houses, 4:00 on a Friday afternoon. We would not see another human being until Sunday afternoon. And we're just back. We're back in the pasture, back in the woods. We have a tent. We have food.
That's awesome.
And yeah, for 48 hours, our parents, oh, okay, they're all right.
Remember looking up at the stars then?
Oh yeah, come outside the tent, and there's all of a sudden your tent's surrounded by cows. It's kind of creepy. It's like, oh, you get up to go to the bathroom. It's like, oh my God, there's all these cows out here.
That's hilarious.
Cows
are awesome.
You never hear them coming.
Really?
Yeah. No.
They didn't have bells. Dung, dung.
No. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'd go swimming in the creek, swimming in the ponds. We'd have shovels because every single mound that was near the creek, it's got to be an Indian burial ground. It's got to be. So we would.
So you're just digging them up?
Well, no, there was never anything.
Until you hit something.
But it was a big thing was to walk the creeks and find arrowheads, like the the rock arrowheads. Yeah,
that's fun.
So obviously the Indians had one time roamed that area.
They were everywhere.
Yeah, Yeah, so that's probably the best childhood memory. Just the fact that here we are. My parents just let us go for 3 days.
Yeah, that's not happening now unless they have their phones
Yeah.
and everything.
Exactly.
And then even
Yeah.
then, the kids are on their phones around the fire,
Mm-hmm.
not looking up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a different time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday, I was walking home with the dog, and there was a gentleman standing on the street corner on his phone, and we're here in Shorewood, and we're on my block where I live, on his phone, and we walked right past him. He's on his phone, and then we get past him, and the dog barks, and the guy's like, turns around and looks at us like, dude, you had no idea we were there. None. He was so engrossed on his phone the whole time. Walked right past him. He didn't even know. And then the dog barks, and he turns on and gives us this look like, oh, what's up with your dog? It's like,
Yeah.
It was
What kind of dog do you have?
we have a dachshund, a little wiener dog.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
Do you? Do you have a dog?
Emmy has a dog. It's a pit bull.
Oh, nice.
He's really nice.
Yeah.
And right by Hubbard. So if you're ever walking past the stop sign, that's where he is. His name's Blue.
Okay.
He's big, but their walk is like around the high school, down Hubbard, back onto, I don't even know what the other street is. It's a small walk.
Yeah.
He's not the best with other dogs, but he is great with people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, no dog's that great with other dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, though, with the phone thing. I see people go past this driveway that I have here all the time on their phones.
Yeah.
Or fly by with their bike. Or just walk down Oakland with their phone. It's like, you don't think, it doesn't matter if people don't see you, you're done.
Yeah.
You know how many people get in a car crash all day on the east side and whatever else, and people are just walking around or getting robbed in the summer? I know on the east side, when I lived over there, right in front of the apartment, cops showed up, detectives. This girl's crying that she got pistol whipped, and her boyfriend also. Yeah. And then another person comes walking. I just got pistol whipped and robbed. Another person comes, like 6 people in the neighborhood, and they're just all on their phones walking. Someone comes up, gun in their face.
No attention. Yeah.
Give me the phone, give me the wallet, and they're done. And it's like, I just even not getting robbed, but just, life in front of you. And that's why this, for lack of better words, again, is evil to me.
What's that?
Just
the
this.
phone. Yeah.
Just this. It's an addiction like nothing else. And I'm sure people also go and they'll put up posts, or someone will put up like a photo online, and it's in the subway in the 50s, and every guy's legs crossed with a newspaper. I mean, I guess, but the newspaper is nothing compared to this,
Yeah.
You can read the newspaper, you're done. This, it never ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. So, go on.
No, I was going to say it's in today's age, one attribute that it's good to have is just to be observant. When your phone's down, just watch, just look.
Just being on your phone like less than 2 hours a day is a superpower nowadays.
Yeah.
Like the people that I again, that's probably an underlying issue of where we are as people and whatever else, that people want to escape this bad. But if you just put it down, life's not bad, and you build a life, and life's good. I'm sure you don't go home and sit on your phone all day. You enjoy your day with your wife.
I put my phone away. It's
Yeah.
It might be in my pocket, but I don't have it on.
Yeah.
It's silence. Like, yeah.
That's good. All right, I have one last question
Sure.
for you.
Yep.
What is something that you would like to be known for after you leave this earth?
Oh, good question. Very good question. I don't know if I'm going to have grandchildren. Don't know. But my thought would be that if I pass and my grandchild is born after that, is that my daughter and son-in-law would make sure the grandchild knows what grandpa is like. More than anything.
A good answer.
So that's my thought.
Not the dictator of the men's club?
No, not at all.
You don't want to be known as that? I'll put it on the stone.
The upside is that I spend a lot of money at the bar when we're at the dinner meetings.
Yeah, you frequent the bars over here too, right? People know you from here.
Yeah,
Just
I've lived here long enough, so.
Just a couple drinks. Or you going out in a wheelchair?
Oh no, just a couple.
Weekend
drinks.
at Bernie's,
Yeah,
glasses on.
Just a couple drinks.
O'clock.
Yeah, I get my haircut at the men's room, and then I always go to Draft and Vessel, and I walk in. They're like, "Jay, just get your haircut." I'm like, I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you never meet your grandchildren, they'll be able to watch this.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's something. But that I think is, I want to normalize that. There should be things like this that you do for people, because eventually everyone does leave.
Yes.
And instead of telling stories, you could be like, hey, here's 10 hours of his thoughts and feelings. Go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to tell you about it or my vision of it. It's like, here's what he is.
Yeah. I'm with you on the whole neighbor. Be a good neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Just be a good person. Be a good neighbor. Help them out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I picked this up several years ago when somebody says, "Well, if you need anything, call me." The better response is, "Okay, let me know how I can help. Do you need something moved? Do you need me to pick something up? Do you do you need something fixed?" Where you actually give examples to that person to say, "Hey, I'm here, and these are the things that I can do," instead of just saying, "Well, if you need anything, call me." Tell them what you can do.
Interesting. And that leads to a more direct idea, or less of, hey, I need $1,200. You said I can hit you up.
I've never been asked for money, but it lets them know, okay, these are the things that
I'm willing to help.
They can do for me. And then the burden isn't on the person asking, because I offered. I said, hey, these are the things that I can do, instead of just randomly say, oh, well, if you need anything, let me know. Puts guilt on the person who, because they may be sick, they may be handicapped, they don't know what's going. There may be things going on in their life where they can't function without some help. So I tell all of my neighbors. There's several widowed women that live nearby, and they know full well. It's like, okay, I'll take care of your walk. I'll shovel your walk when it snows. If there's other things you need me to move something, you need fixed, call me. I'm right here. Okay. So at least they know. Just be a good person, be a good neighbor.
Yep. I think a lot of people can't do that because they're not good to themselves.
That's a good observation.
If you're not well yourself, you can't help others for the most part. Or people decide to give everything. You see it with like nurses or something. They give themselves constantly, and then their life is a mess.
Yes.
I think that's how psychiatrists are as well. I think some of them are messed up, but it takes one to know one.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a random thought, but
okay.
Is there anything else you got on there for me?
No. That is, we talked about the social fitness, the Shorewood Men's Club. No. Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, of course.
Very enjoyable. I'm no longer a podcast virgin.
No.
So can I get a T-shirt? I lost my podcast virginity to.
I'll make one for you.
to John Gutierrez.
Yes. You say I surprisingly lasted over an hour. First time. Yeah, it's funny. So I guess, that's all. Shorewood's Men's Club. Don't be afraid to join. It's not a bunch of old, scary white guys. It's a place and we need to adapt. We need more young guys.
Yes.
But also that has to be something that could be a consensus that you run to with the group. Just seeing what they'd be comfortable with, as in bringing the longevity of the group needs to continue. what is acceptable, I guess, because if it'd be cool if maybe 20 guys showed up and then they all got a partner and we had like 10 questions, like deep questions about like their childhood, they grew up, biggest like memory, fear, whatever, to get to know each other, like, so if I had it and me and you had to sit down and we both filled it out and we read it and we talked about it together and just connected, something like that. And then now you can be like, hey, I talked to John yesterday. He's actually kind of cool here. He does this and this and this. And then, it's weird. I don't know the word for it. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just the reservedness of people and how they can be, even if you're there together, even if you're out at the Brewers game together or something, like you're all there for the same thing. Talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my observation in situations like that is people don't want to open up because they don't know what kind of response they're going to get. And if I open up, are they going to hate me? Are they going to ridicule me? Are they going to laugh? And is reasons to be reserved.
Maybe we got to do it all in our underpants too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jay, for coming.
Well, thanks, John, for having me. I greatly appreciate it. This has been fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Cool. Thank you.
Nice.